Mic check, 1 2 1 2. It's Georgette Pierre, and you're listening to Black and Nuance Podcast, dispelling the ideas that all Black people are monoliths because we're not. My guests and I bring our varying perspectives to pop culture, relationships, and things we go through that we can't always name. Welcome to Black and Nuance, powered by Excitement Radio, and I got another guest co-host with me this week. Joe, you want me to give you your full government?
No, don't give me full government.
Okay, so Joe, we'll just leave it at Joe.
Don't look me up. I don't want to get any more calls that I'm already getting.
Joe, introduce yourself. Tell the good people who you are.
How you guys doing? My name is Joe. You can say my last name is Ellick Jr., respect to my dad. Well, I'm a media executive at Sunshine Communications and Black PRWire. Also own and the co-founder of Highly Unique Radio in Atlanta and owner of Highly Unique South Florida media company. So, yeah, just look me up.
Boss. Okay, just look you. So now you want them to look you up. Okay, you can look it up.
Look that up.
Yes, and so, Joe, with you being my special co-host, we also have a special guest.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
I have Def Jam's own Maxo in the law. You're in L.A. What's up, Maxo?
What's good? How y'all doing?
I know I had to wake your ass up. I was like, EP was like, yo, what time do you need him to be up?
Yo, I'm on LA time like hell.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, no, I know.
You're going through right now.
I know. Maxo, give us a quick rundown of who you are.
I'm from Los Angeles. I've been rapping for about like 4 years.
Okay.
I kind of started it to just like on some escapism type shit. You feel me? Just to like get away from shit, low key. But then it just kind of turned into, I don't know, people. You know, when people listen, other people tend to pay attention.
Yep.
You feel me? So that's kind of just been like my journey, but it's been real. It's been a blessing. I've been real like honored to just like be able to share like my word and influence motherfuckers. You feel me?
Yes. Well, so I call LA the law. Like I used to travel back and forth to LA a lot for work when I lived in New York. There's quite the history out there. You know what I mean? Like, what was life like growing up out there? What were your experiences growing up as Black and male in LA?
Well, just my experiences personally, my parents was able to, on some trying to just avoid trouble, just knowing like what lies in the future for a lot of Black men, just in LA or in any like LA, New York, wherever, anywhere, like, you know, like just the issues that niggas face. I found myself like running into those, just being able to I don't know, it's weird, like, because
I felt like it influenced some of your music or just even the route that you went, kind of.
It for sure does. Just issues that niggas face, but also it's weird because you could just be like a regular nigga and just trying to like stay out the way. And just because, like, how you look or just because how you carry yourself, you will be faced with, like, issues that niggas run into. Just, like, with gang shit, just, like, I don't know, just, like, niggas tripping on you. Niggas, like, you know how shit just be in the Black community?
I know.
Just be so defensive. But that shit influenced my music.
Yeah.
Just off the rip, just because, like, that's your environment.
I read something about your brother, and so you observed something that happened with your brother that made you say that that's not going to be, like, was there something that you saw with your brother that said that that's not going to be me, or that you wanted to take it, or that you needed to take a different path?
It wasn't more so like that. I just seen my brother being the oldest go through oldest child things, you feel me, and having to learn on his own because it wasn't no example. So just me being a middle child, me having an older brother, I was able to just see things and kind of be able to maneuver and navigate. But more so, my brother more struggled with just like when you seeing like niggas on TV like getting killed that look just like you, or like you know, like just with the Trayvon Martin shit or with all this shit like the police shit and all that shit, you gonna be affected mentally because you taking in shit you don't even necessarily know you taking in.
Yeah.
So I seen him kind of just break down due to that. Just on some mental shit. It didn't have nothing to do with like nothing else. You feel me? It's just some Black men ain't it's hard to be fragile as a Black man too.
So how do you feel about what happened to Nipsey? And I know you're from LA, so how do you feel about that situation, how it changed your mindset and how you're moving out in LA?
I think it made me, along with a lot of my peers, just pinpoint our goals and focus more and just realize like how time is sometimes taken for granted just because you live it. You feel me? And it just kind of forces you to like look at yourself. I think that should change a lot of motherfuckers' perspectives just around the world. A lot of black people, not even in LA.
Right.
Just seeing like a pillar of your community, and I don't even stay in the district, but just seeing like a pillar of your community just like gunned down on some shit where it's like, why? It just kind of made like a lot of niggas along with myself just look at the world and just kind of like refocus. You feel me?
Yeah.
So did you break onto the scene in Cali first before Def Jam found you? How did that marriage happen?
All right, mind you, it's 2019, so a lot of stuff is just like, we got to realize the power of the internet. A lot of stuff that, like, I was buzzing just on, like, the internet, low-key, just, like, SoundCloud, just all that little stuff, like the underground music that people, you know how you go on the internet and you look for good music
and it
you,
pops
like,
right
got
up.
a dig, and, like, that's like the type of niggas like that follow my shit. So I to be honest, like I'm just starting now to get my buzz. I've been rapping for like 4 or 5 years. I'm starting to just now like catch traction, and I feel like, not to take away anything from the label, but it only works because I know what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Can you explain that a little bit more? I'm curious about that.
Word, it's like I feel like artists sometimes get lost in the shuffle because they don't necessarily have a vision for themselves. And I feel like, why? Like, I'm afloat. I'm, like, able to push it. When you walk with the people, the outcome's going to be different. You feel me? Like, so that's just, like, my whole approach to this rap shit. I feel like I'm just now building. Like, these are the beginning years for me.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Years.
I wanted to ask, because this is a similar question, because, you know, I'm an ex-basketball player. My dad played pro for 2 years. How do you feel about your transition to used to play basketball as well?
Yeah, I used to hoop. I learned you gotta work hard just in the music game. You gotta really grind it, and everybody know that. But I think niggas don't acknowledge like the fact that you also gotta work smart. So like with playing basketball, it's a lot of strenuous work. I kind of had to like recenter myself and kind of like just work smarter in the sense of like the transition was different, but it's low key the same because you feel me? It's like the same shit low key. Like it's weird. It's hard to explain.
I tell people all the time the transition to, because I used to play basketball in college and I was about to go overseas for a year, all that stuff. But the transition to me, just to work in general, is easy because we worked harder doing basketball.
You feel me?
Yeah, so, and people don't get that. I'm like, man, I worked harder doing basketball than I do here.
Exactly.
So you just do the same stuff. Like especially you do
really
music. Yeah, exactly.
What are your thoughts on the NBA draft lottery, Maxo? With the Lakers being in the top 5, you know, people were...
You know, I'm a Laker fan, man. I was out there
slandering the Knicks and the Lakers.
I was mad, though. I wanted one.
Yeah.
Lakers fans, we selfish. We want one. I was like, man, 4.
You talking about you mad, bro? I can't even watch basketball to say
I can't watch. I can't watch. I keep my Lakers shirt under my shirt. So.
For real, man. Like I gotta wear that in the crib.
I'm curious. I mean, me and a woman, and not to be the stereotypical like doesn't know about sports, but like top 5 is so good. No,
it's not the same. It's not the same.
I mean, I know everyone with Zion Williamson.
I'm a Laker fan. We expect one. Okay. Everything won.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need we champions. It's different when you losing.
It's bad. It's because people also just slandering our name in the streets. I can't walk the streets because people know I'm a Laker fan. So, because I used to make it known.
Bro, it's weird how you lose one time and niggas forget like what you did the past.
Yeah, that's in life too. Like I just made $1,000 yesterday, but you broke today. I'm like, what you think I did with $1,000?
Bro, y'all just forgot about that.
Yeah.
For real. But it's the NBA is in a weird spot, but I've been watching, obviously, that nigga Dame Lillard. And that nigga's like really one of the best right now.
Tough.
Tyree is one of the best. I just feel like, I don't know, the Lakers kind of got a bad organization, bro, for real.
With Magic Johnson leaving as manager.
Yeah. It's like they can't get nothing.
And he was happy too about it. That's what made me mad. He was like, no, I'm gone.
Bro,
I'm Magic Johnson. You know,
because this nigga LeBron was like, bro, we can't have this no more, man. We got to get you out of here.
All right,
you know LeBron ran the Lakers.
Yeah.
He the coach, player, and the motherfucking GM.
Hey, Max, I wanted to ask too, cause maybe I don't know if basketball players play a part, but who inspire you musically to like in your diversity in your music? Cause I hear a lot of diversity in your music. So who inspires you?
Where just growing up, like listening, just walking to class, listening to like John Kennedy, like Wayne, like all the drought tapes and shit. You feel me? Like
Classics.
Wiz, Currency. Like I was in high school when Wiz and Currency was like really popping. So like around that time, like for LA, like shit, like Pac Dib, like Casey Veggies. You feel me? Like all that shit. But then also on the flip side, what my parents was playing in the crib, all the Dwellers, the Ericas, the Chills, Scotts, the Marvins, the Commons, the Mos Def.
Come on, Dwelle. I haven't heard that name in so long.
You feel me? You feel me? Like all that shit, along with like what I was listening to, like Gucci Mane. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like it's so many things that influence me, along with like just the regular people in my life. I feel like influence my music more than other artists. You know?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I hear Currency and Wiz a lot, and people's minds.
That's where. Yeah, I feel like everybody that's around my age making music grew up on them niggas. Even like somebody that's polar opposite to the music I make, like a Playboy Cardi type, or you feel me? Like niggas know what time it is.
I love how real you are about it. Now, speaking of real, like, what advice do you have for those that are struggling to keep going? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean music, but you know how you and Joe are kind of related on the basketball tip and the transition to other things. Like, what do you do? And Joe, I want to hear from you too, but like, what did you do or do you do to keep going?
To keep going, I just be having it takes. Sometimes I don't want to keep going, I'm going to be honest, but it takes a lot of reassurance, and it takes a lot of, like, you got to just remind yourself, like, and then you also got to redefine what success means to you. Like, I used to give a fuck about, like, all the followers and blah, 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 all the number shit that they be manipulating anyways, all that shit. I used to care about that, but it's really, like, you can't focus on what you can't control. You can only control what you put into the world. So I would just encourage niggas that want to quit to just don't quit first of all, and just like put yourself into the world and be yourself, and you'll be accepted by who you need to be accepted by.
And you gotta remember why you doing the stuff you're doing. Like, it's for your passion. It's for your love. Like,
exactly.
When I did basketball, I did it because I loved it, not because maybe I was forced to lift a certain time, and that probably helped a little bit in the process. But I played because I played, and I do what I do now in media because I want to do it. The only bearing is not it's not scheduled, so you have to have that mindset. You know, I got to get up, I got to do this.
The discipline, yeah.
The discipline is a little harder.
Yeah, and then I would also acknowledge what I hope to see, just like from artists that's coming up. I just want to see more like bars being bent as far as like where it's being taken creatively. I feel like everybody just running along the same because it's so easy to peep a formula that a nigga made it by. Just with the gram and with the Twitter verses and all that, like that niggas are just going down the same way. I just need niggas to like push barriers so we can like actually change to how the world's spinning. You feel me?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. What advice do you have? Like, what advice do you have for people who are struggling in the music industry, who's trying to do kind of the same template you did with social media and SoundCloud and just maybe doing like covers? I see a lot of freestylers, like a lot of covers starting to pop up. So how do you do? What advice do you give people
for
who
those
struggling?
specifically in music? Yeah.
The advice I give people just with music specifically, literally just be yourself. Like it's weird because it's like when I started rapping, I didn't really step into the shit like with no real music goals. So when I be asked this questions like down this route, it'd be hard for me to like answer because I don't really know. You feel me?
Yeah,
but I just tell you what I know. But also my path ain't for you. You feel me? Like everybody got their own steps. I need niggas to realize that too, and I need niggas to like. It's difficult these days, but like don't compare. You feel me? Yourself to.
And it's so hard not to.
Exactly.
Because a lot of the times these niggas ain't even telling the full story out here, to be real. So just follow your shit, like follow your steps and believe in your path. And this is shit I'm learning myself. I'll be having to reassure myself, like this is part of me getting better with reminding myself, like literally this interview. You feel me? Shit like this, it's reassurance.
I love
so
that.
like I think that's an important part. Really, niggas need to just know where they want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Any tours, projects that we don't know about, singles?
What's next? There's more music. I've been kind of in a good creative zone right now, and especially for just coming off the album, like, you know, like I just try to keep creating, and just whatever comes my way, I'm gonna just accept that and just be ready for it.
Are you going to venture out into anything outside of music as well?
I got a visual side to me. I'm like co-director, co-creator on all my like videos and shit. Like, I'm super involved in like just the creative direction of all my shit. So I want to do something visually, maybe with film, but I also want to, like, I don't know. I've had so many ideas. It's just like when niggas get money, you feel me? Like,
yeah.
I don't got no, like, right now it's hard to speak because, like, you feel me how this music grind is. Like, you don't really get paid until you get it. So it's like, I'm trying to, like, put better things and put shit into the world just as, like...
You gonna get your own shop show like LeBron.
You feel me? Like, my own shit like that, like, that's my shit. Like, that's my goal. They don't even necessarily relay back to music. This is just like I'm a multifaceted nigga. You
Yeah,
feel me?
facts,
Like,
facts.
I need niggas to know that, like, it's you feel me? Like, the brain can think crazy ways. Like, we got the power.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, I love that. Tell us how they can find you online and all that jazz, Maxo.
Please do.
Got you. So my Instagram is Run That Back. RUNDAT.
Wait, run that back again, Maxo. Run it back one more time.
RUNDATBACK.
Okay.
And then Twitter is RUNDATBACC. Run That Back on everything. Maxo, MAXO. Little Big Man out everywhere. Go stream that if you into like movies or you in the story. Like, I will play that.
I love it. Maxo, thank you so
Maxo,
much.
thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I fuck with y'all.
Yeah, you got up on the crack of dawn. Well, not crack of dawn, but early enough for LA people.
You early, man.
Yeah, you already know.
Thank you. We'll enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it, Maxo. Be good, man.
Y'all too.
Okay. All right, peace. Aw, Joe, that was fun. Let me stop. No, I love, you know what I always crack up about? This is why I love us. Niggas be, did it like every time I hear like, I don't use the word, but I just love and observe how other people use it, and it sounds, I don't ever think
it's crazy how you don't, like, from the outside when you out and about, you don't use it, but as soon as you get to like a place where you're comfortable, man, I'll be like, nigga, what's good? My sister be like, nigga, what you doing? I'm chilling, nigga. Like, that's my sister I'm talking to. Sometimes I have to think back. I'm like oh my God, I'm talking to my sister. Like, she calling me nigga, man. Like, wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Joe, going into the last segment, it's called All of the Things. All of the Things is a lighthearted segment. Be it, you know, relationships, things we go through that we can't always name, things that I'm thinking about, and something that hit me. I was sitting with you when I found out I had won an Emmy, and I had talked about it on the last episode with my
Emmy swag.
But what it made me realize, Joe, and I felt like it's stuck in my own ways for the longest time since moving down here, that I'm not dreaming big enough. Rihanna and the LVMH deal dropped.
Yeah.
What else? Beyonce and her Uber stock, right? But it's not worth the 300 million people thought, but it was the fact that she opted for stocks.
Exactly.
Equity in a company versus like just being paid out $6 million. Who else was something?
Drake got that plane.
Oh,
man.
Drake got the plane.
Like, it's not even a private jet, it's a plane.
The plane, Air Drake.
Soul plane.
And so I was like, man, you know how they always tell you, like, if you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew you couldn't lose, what would you go after? What would you do? And so it prompted me to ask the question, like, am I dreaming big enough? Do you feel like you're dreaming big enough, Joe?
Yeah, I dream big, but I dream too big for people around me. So putting that in perspective is like me putting my dream out there, me having me saying a dream and understanding that I can get there if I just do the steps. I teach just fighting. Some people don't have that fight because their dream is smaller. Mm-hmm. Some people are good with just their office job. They made it to their dream. I just want to make it this far. But some people see it farther than that, and I'm a person who sees it farther than just sitting down. You know, I'm always trying to make a dream so I can help everybody else. You can't help everyone if your dream is not big enough.
Interesting. And so your goal is to help people. So let's talk about how we met and even to connect the dots to what you just said. So we're part of the local chapter of NABJ down here, National Association.
Shout out to them.
Of Black journalists. And I forgot, we were chopping up about something, and then you came up to me at the end, and we were talking, and and you were talking about like where you are at the company that you work for, and what did you say to me? You were saying something along the lines like you were really interested in just going out there and just starting your own shit and just doing it ASAP.
ASAP. So I was trying to do ASAP Rocky. That's what I say when I say ASAP. I say ASAP Rocky. Shout out to him. Yeah. So I wanted to do. I wanted to build a company down here because I see a void in media, and that's not just from me just wanting money. It's never anything I do is never about money, because money comes and goes.
Right.
So what I saw the void is different media outlets in our area, in South Florida or in different areas around the United States, don't give media towards up and coming millennials or up and coming people or small businesses. So I feel like if I started something that we give press to, like upcoming artists who not signed yet but have a buzz, or people who have an art studio, like why are we not doing anything on them? Or people who helping the community out but no one talks about them.
The underserved.
Yeah, because the same people are getting talked about in each thing. Like I'm tired of seeing the same people on every cover. Like every week is a different person. So I wanted to start something, get a building where we want to have a radio station where people can come on.
That's what you wanted to talk to me about, because I told you where I work.
Radio,
yes.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I wanted to start a radio station for people who can't get into the big media things, big radio stations,
right.
but who have the same talent. And they can have a real, because they don't have experience. Because some people say we just need experience. You can get a job. How are they going to get experience if you're not going to hire them?
Right.
So if I can create something that people can get a portfolio on, start a magazine so writers can get portfolio, pictures, graphic people, start a little media TV thing, and have people have reels for them want to be on news stations and stuff. So it's just trying to build people up. And that's what I'm doing with my company, Highly Unique, South Florida. And in Atlanta, we're trying to build people portfolios so they can go to the next level.
So you're like the prerequisite for people to get the experience that companies say they don't have, which is like the catch-22, right?
Yeah.
It's almost as backwards. So what do you have in Atlanta that inspired you wanting to do it in South Florida?
So in Atlanta, we have this thing where I partner with, and I do, shout out to Rich Black. He's over Highly Unique Radio in Atlanta. So it's a huge station where we have a big building where we do videos and we shoot movies and film. We have sets for people to come. We also have a radio station where people pay small amount to get their own shows and DJs.
To pay for a slot, essentially.
Have a slot, have a station. We have other booths where DJs can do their mixes. If you don't have your tables, which you should have. If you're a DJ, you should have your tables. I want to tell DJs that, by the way, down here. But if you need to do your mixes, you have a creative space where you can meet people. And it's just a big thing. It's a big, in Atlanta, is really huge. Highly Unique Radio in Atlanta is really huge.
That's awesome. Congrats.
And we VDS. You can ask Alexa about us. She knows,
Alexa, the damn app, Alexa? The one that talks back to you?
Yeah. I wasn't talking about that Alexa, but yeah, that one too.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We're talking about both Alexas.
What Alexa are you talking about?
No, I was just messing with you.
Oh!
Yeah. So we're talking about that Alexa, Cortana, all of it.
What, on Amazon, right?
Amazon, all that.
You
Google.
A mess. I can't.
Google, she knows us. They know us. I don't know why I feel like Google's a she as well. So.
Yeah, listen, I'm down for it. Personification is a woman.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not knocking that.
I'm not gonna move forward on that topic. We'll be here all day.
But you are doing big things, and you just felt like there was a void to fill because you're from down here.
I'm from down here. I'm
Okay.
from Fort Lauderdale. The Dale. Shout out to the Dale.
The Dale.
The Dale. DALE. L's up.
L's up.
L's
okay,
up.
that now you sound like you're doing too much. It's Fort Lauderdale. Like
That's the Dale.
we just can't keep it. Okay, Fort Lottie Dottie. That's too much.
No, that's too. That's like,
Fort Lottie Dottie.
no.
Okay.
That's New York and it's kind of 60s. Is that 60s or 70s? Oh,
No,
man,
I
didn't
think
want to
it's-
put your age out there.
Don't do that. I think that's even 80s.
That's 80s. That's
That's
Slit
fine.
Rick. That's Slit Rick and
Yeah, that's
Dougie
80s.
Fresh.
That's 80s. But anywho, fast forward, you wanted to build, you're going to have a company and you're going to do all that stuff here, but you were ready to jump off the ledge.
Yeah, I'm ready to do now. I'm trying to build a team now.
Yep.
Have a few people now. A lot of people. I had a huge team, but you have to believe in it and do the. Some people can't do the groundwork.
Yeah.
It's groundwork to all this successful stuff that go. You just can't jump in it, and that's why some people dreams are not big enough because they can't handle the pressure or just the work you have to put to get everything off the ground. So.
Well, let me tell you what I'm struggling with as far as dreaming big, and that's funny that you made that point. Well, the first thing I said to you was, don't do what I did. I took an $80,000 pay cut for a part-time job in radio.
Ooh.
Yeah, from TV production, right? And I started the more and more I started spending time, the more and more I started realizing, and it was all these epiphanies that actually happened after we met and spoke. I was like, man, I really love visual storytelling. I really love creating. I really love talking to people. I really love TV in the sense of like TV film, creating the visual, right? Radio's cool, did that, college radio cool. But sometimes you have to go into certain things and find out like, is this what you really, what you want? And so in my mind, I was like, okay, down here is cool, but New York is where I feel like I need to be in New York. I need to be back in New York. And, I was having different conversations with people, and I was just like, man, am I making the right decision on telling myself I need to go back? The thought that came to mind was, well, Georgette, like, do you want this? Like, do you want radio? Like, because, you can't be picking and choosing, like, you'll do this, but you won't do that. Exactly. You can't do this, but you will do that. And it was like, well, maybe I don't know. And so I started doubting myself, Joe, because I was like, there's so many things that I've worked on where I don't necessarily know if I've stayed long enough to see or have had the patience to see the fruits of the labor. I did college radio. Because radio didn't happen in New York, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to TV. TV happened. Because TV hosting didn't happen, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try commercial radio. Yeah. Right? But now I'm feeling frustrated in commercial radio. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going back to TV. And so I feel like I'm bouncing, but like I built all these skill sets up, and I realized like if I was to think bigger picture from people that knew me in college was a media empire. It was always a media empire. Exactly. I was the triple threat. I knew radio, I knew TV, and I wrote. Exactly. And perfect. Right. And so it was just like, but it's just the place I'm at in my life, Joe. It's like, man, I just want to make sure I'm happy and I'm in a space of like where I want to be. And similar to what Maxo was saying, like, with Nipsey Hussle's death, what it made people realize, like, you just don't have that much time. Yeah. So do you stay somewhere hoping, or do you go from what you feel?
Like right now, I could say I'm in that phase. I can say it, but you have to know, you have to really know your purpose. Like, it's easy. It's so easy for me being in ABJ for like all these years and doing the same thing as you, like write all these magazines and all these producing these shows and stuff that people watch on ESPN and stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm home. I could be there easily. And it crosses my mind all the time. Like, I can just leave and make a lot of money just individually. But you got to see your purpose. I feel like my purpose is to stay in right now and to encourage and build around me so people can, because I don't feel like I'm a savior, but it takes for people like me and other people like you to stay, to help other people to build. Because we just leave, then no one else is going to do it, and it's going to be the same problem all the time, where it's just the same people running everything, the same people circling around, same media, no creativity in these areas. So that's why I feel like if I just right now start something and just show that it's different stuff that can happen down here, and show other people you don't have to go the traditional route. You can go my route, you can go other people's route, and you can be great as well. And your dreams can be cultivated on your own, not by a system. Most people think the system, I got to go to school, I got to do this, I got to wait on the system. My dream is to do this radio station. I got to get there. You can create your own and make it bigger than a radio station, man. Like, it's more money into doing your own thing.
I agree with that. I will admit I'm not that vested in South Florida as you are. Yeah. Right? Like, I'm not from here.
Yeah, exactly.
The South was never my steez. Even when growing up, I always knew it was going to be like a New York or an LA.
I said that I lived in Atlanta for a while. And I did something, and I was just like,
you got to go back home.
Yeah. Not even, so I felt your pain. So I was like, I got to go back home. But I wanted to go back home because Atlanta was doing so good. And I was like, yo, like,
let me replicate
it's people better in South Florida than that. Sorry, Atlanta. I love y'all, though. And people in Atlanta, I love Atlanta, though. Love the food.
You trying to clean it up?
I try to clean up with the food. Cause y'all know the food good up there. Y'all cut me slack.
Well, I hear you on purpose, and I definitely feel purpose in regards to still wanting to be that person that connects the dots. But I feel like I'm chasing something, and part of me is like, and let me say this, and I feel like I'm having these epiphanies, just having an open conversation with you. But now I feel like, Joe, like, I went to New York, and I almost got emotional because like I miss being there. I was just like, man, I remember I used to come here to do this, and now it's nicer up there. Yeah. And I just remember I said, man, Georgette, you're chasing things in a way where you feel like you can't get it if you don't do X, Y, Z. And what I mean by that is everyone knew me, people that knew me in New York and on the career front knew I wanted TV hosting.
Yeah.
When I told them I was going to radio, that didn't make sense to them. It's like, if you want TV hosting, why would you go to radio? In my mind, Joe, I had convinced myself, because I wanted a break from TV production, that getting on air, being said talent in my name on a piece of paper would be my entry into TV hosting. And rude awakening.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as rude until I got to the point of realizing the connections that I've been making to give me some outlets to really do interviews and sit down with people. But literally, been down here for 9 months. I only got to a place where I felt grateful and not to say it, but this is what my reality was at the time. Literally the end of the 8th month.
Wow.
Like a few weeks ago.
This is how you got to look at it, though, Georgia, because you're great. You're very good, because I hear you all the time in the morning. So I look at it from the standpoint is, for me, being around people who, like, they'll die to be in your shoes. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it that way, too. Like, I used to complain, like, man, I could be way bigger than I am. But it's some people who think already, like, I have it. Like, Joe is that man right now. Like, he's doing it. He's wearing suits every day. He has to be doing something. Like, he wears suits. Right? But when I'm out in Walmart with sweatpants, I thought he wore suits.
Yeah.
Right? So people look at you. So you got to really kind of step back and be like, I'm grateful. And with the Nipsey thing, people are saying, a lot of people tell me, like, yeah, time is short because Nipsey. I said, well, you got to preach. You got to look what Nipsey was preaching. He was preaching it's a marathon, not a race. So he's preached that. So if you remember anything from Nipsey, because I listened to him since he started, it's a marathon. And he always said the marathon continues no matter where he went and no matter how big he got with his stores and music. It was just popping off. He was like, the marathon continues. It continues to. It takes time. He continued to build where he was at, and it kept going. So that's how I look at it from my standpoint with stuff like that. So you just got to be patient. Patience, too, it's hard. I have a friend. His name is Sterling Ferguson. I always say his name so people can look him up. And we always talk. We played basketball together so long. And we transitioning. We always talk about patience. Like, patience is so hard for you to do. Like, it's something to do, but it's nothing. Like, you just waiting. So just sitting there waiting as a human being, like, man, I need to get this. But patience is all you really need sometimes, and he'll bring it to you. Everything a fix around you, and then put you in the. Like, I met you. You met me.
Yeah.
I could get a TV deal tomorrow and be like, oh. And he asked for a show. I'm like, oh, Georgette, like, I need a show. So it's just little stuff like that. The patience brings. Like, you don't know that's in the works. Like, God is, like, working. I don't want to be religious on here. I don't want to be gospel podcast. You can't. No. We just said nigga 8 times. Sorry, God. I'm going to say nigga after I live.
This is why it's black and nuanced. We're not monolithic.
Yeah,
black people are monolithic.
I go in and out. So, like,
hit it.
God does stuff where he wants you to be patient. He's working stuff behind the scenes. It's like, I don't want to say it's a movie I watched with Denzel Washington maybe like a month ago, where everything that's happening depends on some little thing that's going on around the world. So, like, something I can't explain it. I don't know what movie it was.
Was it a recent, like, was it action? Was it dramatic?
Unfortunately, he's doing a lot of action stuff at his old age.
He is, but he's still busting ass. I'm not mad at that.
He is. He's old, though.
Yeah.
He looks a mess.
He does not. Okay, I can't agree with
okay, we quiet then. We ain't gonna go. See, girls don't want to touch real subjects. They don't want to touch real subjects. They want a platform, but don't want to touch the real subjects.
No.
He looks a mess.
No.
He looks a mess. He's bald on some of his stuff.
He's not.
He's bald on some of his stuff. He looks a mess. No, here there. He looks a mess. But, like, just stuff is working behind the scenes that you don't know about. So he has to fix. So say he has to go through like 10, 15 people's lives and fix some stuff just for your life to be.
This is not the Equalizer, is it?
No, it's not. I'm just saying in general now.
Because I was thinking, okay.
I'm saying in general. God has to fix stuff in like 20 people's lives just for it to line up for yours.
Yeah.
And that's weird. That's the weird thing. Like, and you don't even know these people. It's just random people.
Yeah.
Like one of the companies I work for now, my boss, I was like, I never met her in my life. Like, I don't know how it lined up with me meeting some random people throughout maybe my freshman year of college. I met this one guy. He knew my boss, and he told me about her like randomly 3 years later. And I met the lady. And then I'm working for her. I didn't know she knew everybody. I knew she's higher on the totem pole than most people I know who I thought was on this high level. Mm-hmm. So that puts me in a predicament where I'm on the same level as those people I thought was really high on the totem pole.
Something you said that had me thinking, okay, so patience, yes. The gratitude is there, right?
Ooh,
like when I walk into the studio, at this point, to be honest, what I turned off was the lofty expectations that I came down with. So now it started to becoming, get everything that you need to get from here, Georgette.
Exactly.
So when that time comes, you have everything you need.
Exactly.
And that actually has leveled me out longer than my in and out moments since coming down here.
Exactly.
But I'm still trying to get, and maybe I keep saying it, but I know I need to just be still. It's just clarity and discernment on what the next step is, because I know what I want to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm always the one that wants to drive, and I'm like, God, I know I need to let go of the steering wheel, but I know what I want to do, and I just want that to be aligned with the plans that the universe has for me. I use God and universe interchangeably.
Sometimes you gotta take that passenger seat. I was in a relationship one time. I knew she was crazy, but I knew if I took the passenger for a little bit, I can get through some months, so I can get on my feet.
Interesting.
Get on my feet.
You were able to bear that.
Well, and then I got on my feet. I got right in the driver's seat. I said, "Move out the way."
Boop, boop.
Move out the way. You can leave the car. Now you can leave. I can drive. I'm picking people up now. I ain't a passenger. I'm picking everybody up.
I'm picking people up. I'm over you.
You can get out the car. I'm picking everybody up on the way.
I'm over you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then do you know what your purpose is?
It changes. Your purpose changes, which I realize that it changes throughout the season. It changes throughout different parts of life. So now I feel like my purpose now is to build and encourage the people around me by sometimes doing what I'm doing and sometimes just being around. Because sometimes a lot of sadness going around in the world right now. A lot of bad stuff. I got like 10 calls this week. I was telling my father about just like some friends and just students from school and some of my past classmates just saying like, man, I can't make it, man. I can't find a job. I've been out here just searching, Joe. People not lucky. But in the same, you got to remember sometimes you put yourself in those predicaments. Because some people were telling me, I remember telling them like, yo, like, let's do this. But you didn't believe into it. That's why I told you about the dreaming too big. People didn't believe in what the dream was. I'm like, listen, the dream is this. We got to build this. It's going to get you here. But we're going to continue to build from there. But some people, they lose around the way from little stuff. They stay in the moment instead of looking at the bigger picture.
I feel like you're talking to me.
The bigger picture is I talked to people yesterday. Some people on my team, I tell them the bigger picture of things. So, like, why are we doing this for free? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this, Joe? So it's a bigger picture. You got to really look at the bigger picture.
Right, but is the bigger picture whatever your end goal is, though, sometimes, right? Like, what is their bigger picture? You know what your bigger picture is, but does that align with someone else's picture?
Yeah. But that's the point. You have to do stuff and it's very hard to paint a vision because your vision, it can't be a selfish vision. Because if it was just selfish vision, you could just go to New York and like do your thing, right? So like me as well, I can go to freaking Connecticut and go to ESPN, get a job really easy as a writer or something. Get the little 80, 90,000, get a little small apartment, 2 dogs. See how 2 dogs and
that was random as fuck.
It's random.
Okay.
It's random. Put a little vase in the corner. For girls come through and they see the vase.
Gosh, okay.
I decorate.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But
you are a fool. What you say? It can't. You don't. Okay.
But you got to paint a picture. So what you're doing, everyone can get like what I'm doing with How Unique. I tell people this every day. I said, this is a goal for you. You bring in your individual goal or your individual picture to add to make a big portrait. So it's not just my picture, because if it's just my picture, it'd be my ugly face. And then everybody just underneath.
You should not down yourself like that.
No, I know. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm a little low 6, you know what I mean? But hey, listen.
A low 6? Is that are you talking about your height? What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm a 6'7". I'm just saying that right now until people see me in person, I'll be a 9, 10.
Oh, you're talking about like on the scale like of 1 to 10. You're low. You said you're a low 6?
That's what this 80-year-old girl told me the other day. She 85. She was like, listen, you like a 6 to me. I need a grown old man. She was 80. I was just talking to her. We were just talking about life. And I think she thought I was hitting on her because I was like, God, it's so good. She was like, listen, young man, I know you want me. I was like, hey, these ladies out here are bold.
Joe, but you're charming and you're witty.
Listen, these older ladies are bold. Just to get off a quick subject.
Yes.
These lady was legit 80. I saw her and I helped her with something. I was like, listen, I'm going to help you with this box. You're carrying it. I helped her with a box.
Little gentleman, actually.
Gentleman, do my thing. Here you go, lady. She's like, listen, I know you want me. I was like, okay.
I'm not mad at that.
I said, okay. I don't know where this is going. She's like, but right now, you like a on my scale, you like a 6. I was like, I need a 9, a 10, older man. I was like, yes, you need someone 80 because you're 80 years old.
Yes.
Very disgusting.
But you see, you think it's disgusting, but imagine the women that sleep with men that are 80 years old because of their money or whatever.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Think of the perspective flip. You think it's nasty, but women find a way to digest that. How crazy is that? Would you do
That's
it?
not crazy, but
It's
that's just a woman mentality. We're not gonna get into woman mentality. Woman mentality.
Okay, if she was worth $1 billion.
No, this woman mentality thing is very, very strong. We can't go on this topic. We'll be here all day.
Okay, then we're gonna talk about it in the next episode.
In this episode, we'll be here all day.
Oh, okay, great. Because that might. Okay, you can start some things. Okay, Joe, how can they find you?
Well, guys, you can find me life_22 on Instagram. You can find me on blackprwire.com. I have a show called Thriving Online where I interview a lot of inspirational people. Vivica Fox. Vivica Fox is one of my. I got Judge Hatchett on there. You can find me on that, Thriving Online, blackprwire.com.
I want to get in on that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Holly Unique, HUR SoFlow is our Instagram handle. Holly Unique Radio on our Instagram and Twitter. And you'll find me there, man. A lot of things we're doing. Shows, TV, all that, man. So y'all look me up.
Black and Nuance on there. I'm down for that, too.
We down.
Yeah,
Black Nuance, we on there.
Yes, and you can find me online, Twitter, IG, Black Nuance Pod. Black NUANCED Pod, and we're also streaming on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Spotify at Black and Nuance Podcast. Email me at blacknuancedpod@gmail.com, and you can personally find me on Twitter at Georgette, my first name, or Instagram Georgette Star with 2 R's. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace.